Hi, Janet Evanovich here. Borders has made a video of One for the Money, my first Stephanie Plum book, and I think all you guys out there should make your own videos too. And it has to be short, and it has to be a Stephanie Plum book. You can do a scene, you can do the whole book, you can do whatever you want, and we'll see just how good you are.
There are some men who enter a woman's life and screw it up forever. Joseph Morelli did this to me. Not forever, but periodically. Morelli and I were both born and raised in a blue-collar chunk of Trenton called the Burg. Houses were narrow, yards were small. People were mostly of Italian descent. It was a good place to buy a calzone or play the numbers. Stay away from those Morelli boys, my mother had warned me. They're wild. They do things to girls when they get them alone. What kind of things, I asked.
Terrible things. Things you don't want to know. Things that aren't nice.
In high school, my best friend Mary Lou Molnar told me the same.
So I hear Joe Morelli has a tongue like a lizard.
Holy cow, what's that supposed to mean?
Just don't let him close to you or you'll find out.
Well, I'm a virgin. I'm sure he doesn't mean anything to do with virgins.
He specializes in virgins. One touch of his little finger and you're done.
Ooh.
2 weeks later, Joe came into the bakery where I worked every day after school, the Tasty Pastry. He bought a chocolate chip cannoli, told me he joined the Navy, and charmed the pants off me 4 minutes after closing behind the chocolate eclairs. The next time I saw him, I was 3 years older. I was driving my father's Buick when I spotted him. I gunned it, clipped him from behind, and bounced him off the right fender.
Oh,
Anything broken?
my leg.
Good. I'd like to say that I haven't run anyone over since. It was Sunday, and I had a date with the pot roast at my parents' house, with Mom, Dad, and Grandma Mazer.
Stephanie, can't you wear a dress? How are you going to catch a nice man looking like that?
I don't want a man, Ma. I had one. I didn't like it. But I don't want to talk about that. I got some bad news.
You have a lump in your breast.
No, Ma. I got laid off from my job as lingerie buyer.
Hey, ran into your cousin Vinny. He's got some filing he can use you for.
Just the career move I was hoping for. I'd sooner stick a needle in my eye. My cousin Vinny, resident sleazebag and local bail bondsman with a loving wife that chooses not to know about his addiction to kinky sex. Vinny, I need a job.
Not my problem.
I'll make it your problem. I'll have a nice long talk with Lucille. When I said kinky before, I meant kinky. I know all about Madame Soretsky and the whips and chains. I know about the boys. Oh, and Vinny. I even know about the duck. And that is the day my life changed forever. I became a bounty hunter, and my first FTA, Joseph Morelli. I followed Joe's cousin, and just my luck, he led me straight to Joe's hiding place. It's Joe Morelli. So what if he makes me weak at the knees? I am a professional. Joe is a murderer, and it is my job to bring him in.
Vinny sent you to bring me in.
My calm, cool, and collected plan went totally out the window. Time to pull out the big guns.
Well, think of what this will do to your mother. She'll have to tell everyone she knows her son Joe was too weak to stand trial. She'll have to tell everyone. Is that what you want? Your poor mother. I mean, Joe.
Oh, and he left. The only way I was ever going to apprehend Morelli is if I found him already gagged, bound, and unconscious. There is this guy, Benito Ramirez, that supposedly is this heavyweight champ that trains at the Stark Street gym. The guy Morelli shot worked for Ramirez, so maybe if I talk to him...
Stephanie Plum, where you going? Champ ain't done yet!
Get off my case. I have enough problems without worrying about saving your ass.
No one asked you to save my ass!
Honey, you couldn't find your ass with both hands.
His attitude was beginning to piss me off. I was only too well aware that I had a lot to learn about apprehension. I didn't need Morelli's sarcastic superiority. table was set with the good lace tablecloth, which in our world means company. My mother invited Bernie Cruz to dinner. I've known Bernie since we were kids, and since my divorce, my mother's been trying to find me a new husband. And Bernie is not it.
So what are you doing now?
She's a bounty hunter. She tracks down dirty, rotten fugitives just like you see on television. She's got a gun and everything. She's got a whole pocketbook full of paraphernalia. Oh, here's her gun. Isn't it a pip?
Somebody take that away from her before she kills herself. You didn't put bullets in it, did you, Grandma?
Well, of course I did. Only I left one hole empty just like they do on television. That way you don't shoot something by mistake.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, dang. I guess I left the wrong hole empty. That kind of gave me an appetite. Somebody pass the potatoes.
Morelli's brand new red Jeep was sitting in his parking lot. He couldn't use it, right? You know it isn't good for a car to sit without being run. After all, I do have his keys, so it's not like I'm stealing or anything. It's more like commandeering. I was momentarily distracted by a blur of color on the other side of the shower curtain. The blur moved, and my heart momentarily stopped dead in my chest. Someone is in my bathroom.
What the hell are you doing here?
You can hang there forever for all I care.
When I got loose, I was going to track him down like a dog. Hello?
No! Oh, God, no! Oh, God, no! Ah!
Stephanie, you shouldn't have hung up. You're going to miss the best part. You got to know what the champ can do so you can look forward to it.
What are you doing in my apartment?
Cooking dinner.
I've been trying to find Morelli, and here he was in my apartment. He even had his back turned to me. I could shoot him in the butt.
Why are you being nice to me?
I need you.
What do you need me for?
Cooperation. In return for that cooperation, I'll see to it you get that bounty money.
He had my attention. Morelli spent the morning bugging my apartment and filling me in on the likes of Benito Ramirez and his manager, Jimmy Alpha. He made me promise to stay locked up in the apartment until he was back in town. But some promises are meant to be broken. I had no intention of sitting on my hands waiting for Ramirez. I had every intention of staying in the car all day without Morelli as backup. But I was baking. I needed some air.
Been waiting for you to get out of this car all day. That's how it's going to be. Never going to hear me till I pounce. And then it's going to be too late. Ah!
Oh, don't throw up. You'll ruin the crime scene.
Everyone is dead. There are no witnesses left, and Ramirez is nowhere to be found. I didn't want to see Morelli going to jail for a crime he didn't commit. I have to admit, I was growing fond of him. I was going to miss teasing him and the late-night companionship. But I guess not enough to risk my $10,000. I have rent to pay. A little voice inside my head whispered, "Get out of the apartment!"
Stephanie, turn around nice and slow. Close the shutter.
Jimmy? What are you doing here?
Hold it right there. See, a manager like me, he waits his whole lifetime to get a decent fighter. The money's great, but I got a fighter who likes to hurt people. So I figure if Ramirez comes over here, does his thing with you, I'll shoot him with your gun, and then he takes the blame.
Jimmy, do something. Don't just sit here and wait for Ramirez.
I'm sorry, Stephanie. There's no other way.
It's up to you now.